There was yet another botched execution in America this week. So it's a botched elocution. Wow, I don't know how to talk. This is from Think Progress. Botched execution left Alabama inmate bleeding from his groin. Doyle Lee Hamm was struck with needles for hours before the attempt was called off. Holy shit. So they're talking about death row inmate Doyle Lee Hamm in Alabama, and he was punctured with a needle 11 times. But this is going to get even more and more gruesome. He developed large cell lymphoma spreading from his left eye to other parts of his body, and he was given radiation treatment a while back. Now, he since went into remission, but he had that, and that affected his physical state. He also had hepatitis, and he used drugs most of his life. So in other words, he's kind of frail, and it's hard to find a vein. That's the picture that they're painting here. A doctor claims that the execution team may have punctured Hamm's bladder and femoral artery because he was, quote, gushing blood on the night of the execution, and he was urinating blood for the next day. Alabama Department of Corrections Commissioner Jeff Dunn said, quote, I wouldn't necessarily characterize what we had tonight as a problem. Well, then you're a fucking idiot. Listen, man, we've been over this a bunch of times. The death penalty kills the wrong people, gets innocent people 4% of the time. That was a study that came out of the UK about the death penalty in the US, because they don't have it. So if you don't want to murder innocent people 4% of the time, you can't be for the death penalty. You just can't be for the death penalty. We have the death penalty. Not only do we have it, we feel like we have to do the death penalty in a way that makes us feel good. So, in other words, if you just shoot somebody in the head, that's relatively painless for them. But it's gross when you see their fucking brain splatter on the ground. So to make ourselves feel good, we want to do it in a way that looks like it's medical. Oh, you give them a 3-drug cocktail and it looks like they go to sleep and they just don't wake up. Well, guess what? That's nothing but a bunch of bullshit. It's a way to make ourselves feel better about what we're doing, which is murdering somebody. And now we know it's actually more barbaric because this keeps fucking happening. There was just another story of a guy who they couldn't find a vein and they had to call off the execution. Then there was another story about they needed to use a new drug cocktail because they used to get the drugs from a pharmaceutical company from the UK, but that pharmaceutical company said, we're not going to make the death penalty drug anymore. We didn't even have the death penalty here. So that means the states had to find new ways to try to kill people. They used a new drug cocktail. One of them, they fucked up. The guy was foaming at the mouth, and it took him 30 minutes to die. He was in pain, foaming at the mouth for 30 minutes. They called off the execution, but then he died right after they called off the execution. This is what we're doing in the United States of America in 2018. 2018. So we can join the rest of the modern world and just not fucking kill people. There's an idea. Instead of botching an execution every couple weeks, which is what it feels like is happening right the fuck now. And listen, I have no love for these people. Like this guy committed murder. He committed murder. So okay, life in prison without the possibility of parole. We're done here. We're done here. But no, we gotta fucking kill him. And by the way, torture. That's what it was. They described, oh my God, for hours they tried to get the needle in and they couldn't get it right and he was in pain. And so this is torture. You're torturing somebody. That's what you're doing. Wonderful. So maybe we need to improve this system and get rid of the death penalty. Even if you believe in it in principle, like the philosophy of it, which I get it. If somebody's that big of a monster and they fucking rape kids and massacre 30 people or whatever, I get it. Like, I get that vengeance thing where it's like, fuck that guy, he should die. I get it. I understand that completely. So I'm with you philosophically. But even if you believe that, you still kill the wrong people 4% of the time. So how the fuck can you be for the death penalty? Unless you're okay with murdering people 4% of the time, which means you're a fucking monster if you believe that. Holy shit, is that terrible. If you're like, yeah, I don't care, kill people 4% of the time. Wow. And by the way, Jimmy Dore makes a good point about this. He's further left than me on this issue. He's like, we kill people who are killers and we think that's rational, but do we rape people who are rapists? No, we don't. And everybody seems to get the barbarity of that. Like, they look at that and they're like, ooh, yeah, that's fucked up, isn't it? Like, you're going to fucking rape them because they raped somebody else. It's still wrong that you are now raping them. Like, that case seems clear. doesn't it? Like, oh, you're raping them, but that's also fucked up. Yeah, they raped somebody first, but you raping them doesn't make it right. It's like your mom used to say when you were a kid, 2 wrongs don't make it right. So that's the point he makes, and that's a good fucking point. But what's weird is like we've grandfathered in the idea of, no, if they kill, you get to kill them. But we're just used to that. That doesn't mean it's right. So, anyway. Another botched execution in America in 2018. It's pathetic, it's sad, and it's yet another way that we're dragging behind the rest of the developed world.